Now pay attention, 007. I've always tried to teach you two things. First, never let them see you bleeding.
And the second?
Always have an escape.
What's going on, everybody? Chris Morales, That One Bond Guy, for another episode of That One Bondcast. This one's going to be very special because it is the very first episode that I get to have a guest on the podcast, and it's been something that I've been really wanting to do. Reach out to different content creators, very unique and different aspects of their creation and different type of topics. And this one I hold very near and dear to my heart because personally, this topic I like to involve in my life as well. So that being said, with no further ado, I'd like to introduce to all of you guys Mr. David Datz, owner and creator of Double O Fitness on Instagram. David, how you doing?
Not bad, sir. How are you?
Doing fantastic, and I'm so excited. Like I said, this topic really, I've always been surrounding myself with fitness from a young age. In high school, I played
Hmm.
baseball, I did martial arts, and I just thought, fitness is always something that I've really enjoyed doing. It's a very good stress reliever. And then, funny enough, James Bond and fitness go hand in hand. So,
I
here we
do.
are, and that is kind of what inspired you for your page, wouldn't you say?
It is. So I got involved. I've been doing it about 19 years now. I got involved honestly, right after I saw Craig popping out of the water
Mhm.
in Casino Royale. That was it for me. I was hooked, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to get in shape. I wanted to be in good shape, and just been, got the bug, and it hasn't left.
Hey, brother, and let me tell you, if you guys go and check him out on Instagram, you'll see all of his progress pictures and some really cool, tips and tricks as he does share not only just his fitness process and his progression, but tips and tricks for those of you at home who are looking to get
Hmm.
more fit, which is what I love because, I mean, you can see everybody at the gym doing photos and videos of themselves, posting
Hmm.
them on Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok, but it takes it to another level when you're able to share and give back to the community to help others around you to better themselves, which is something I really love. There's actually one post that really hit me hard, and I really, really like this. And pulling it up on my notes here. And I quote, this is one of your earlier posts, and it says, living a Bond lifestyle is more than just dressing like him. Fitness is just as important as the style aspect. Being fit takes a massive amounts of discipline. This type of discipline will take you further in life. It preps you for the harder times. So get those steps in and get to the gym and have a healthy regimen. Being fit starts in the kitchen. And remember, you can't outrun a bad diet. So that right there,
Yes.
I love that.
That's it.
When it comes to the fitness, like what are your core, like the most important things? I know you mentioned diet as well as gyms. Like for anybody who is looking to get started right off the bat, what would you
Balance.
suggest them?
Balance. You
Okay.
got to find balance. And this is how I deal with, my clientele. Essentially, let's say that I'll give you an example. Let's say that you're eating a pint of ice cream a night, right?
Hmm.
Well, I would tell you to gradually wean off of that. I don't believe in drastic measures when it comes to fitness. Everything's a process, and it's a process, and you need to enjoy the ride.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
You
like
know,
kind of hard to go in cold turkey if you've never had experience in that aspect. Um, so that's really cool. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always been around, but I know there's a lot of friends of mine who want to get started and they're like, well,
mhm.
I don't know what to do. Should I just go straight and go to
Little
weightlifting?
things. No,
Should I?
just start getting steps in. Go
Yeah.
try and hit 10K a day. Just little things, whether you're doing like a lot of the body.
Hmm.
I be honest with you, I don't lift as heavy as I used to. I was a bodybuilder for a long time,
Oh,
and um, it's not a healthy way to do it.
yeah.
I've noticed that more calisthenics works a lot better, and
Mhm.
if you invest now into your health, I mean, it's gonna be a lot cheaper on you later on in life. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And remind the listeners at home, you are actually a professional fitness coach.
Yeah, PT, strength and conditioning. I've done some physical therapy stuff. I've actually had many, many injuries, so I've learned a
Mhm.
lot just going to physical therapy how to deal with those injuries. But Yeah, I've been doing it. I've been certified. I think when I got certified in 2007 was my first my when I really knew what I was doing.
Nice.
It was a lot of trial and error. And one thing I could say to the listeners, if um, if you are going to go to the gym, don't be afraid of the humility.
Mhm.
Everybody's got to start somewhere, whether you're not lifting very heavy or you drop a weight, or I'll be honest with you, I've walked straight into a rowing machine and dang near knocked myself out, but like
Oh
that's
wow.
just how it is. Yeah. It's really just understanding that it's going to be a long process
I love that. I
and just
love that.
enjoy it.
Now, to kind of have some fun with this, I'm curious
Okay.
because this is kind of like, I'll be honest for the listeners at home, we've gotten to know each other for a little bit over Instagram over the
Right.
past
Yeah.
few months, but this is actually the first interaction we've had face to face, so this is exciting for me.
Correct. Yeah.
I gotta ask, what was your very first kind of Bond memories that you have, whether it's a film or the books or the video games?
So I want to say the first Bond film I ever saw was License to Kill.
Oh, nice.
I'm an 80s baby, so I distinctly remember watching it when I was probably I'd have been 5. I don't know. I think my dad was watching it or something. I just
Mhm.
watched it, and that's not what got me hooked. I was probably, I don't know, 10-ish when Goldeneye came out. I was 8 or
Mhm.
10. I just remember sitting in my friend's dad's basement. He was a big Bond fan, and he
Oh,
had the
nice.
Bond posters all over the place. And I just remember sitting there watching Goldeneye, and that was it. I was like, oh man, and I got hooked. And I continued to follow the franchise, but it wasn't until Craig took over that it like really just popped
Right.
off for me.
That's
hmm
awesome.
And
And
it sent me on a whole new craze.
that's kind of cool. It ties in perfectly to the next question I have, in which when did you feel like, or like what kind of inspired you to get the bug to kind of cross over the two, fitness and Bond, and then kind of make it into like a content creation and Instagram?
Honestly, truth be told, I didn't even know this existed till probably 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought I was the only crazy guy out there that was obsessed with Bond, and I think I came across Commando Bond's page and was like, "Is this
Yeah.
real?" And then I started to dig deeper, and then I found Zarinsky on
Mhm.
YouTube, and I was like, "This is crazy." And along the way, like I've got such good friends in the community now that I mean they rival my friendships here home at home. Like it's a great community. I love the community. I
Yes,
cannot say enough about the community. It's not toxic. It's my little escapism.
exactly. Yeah, and it's so cool to hear that because I don't know, have you been to like a Bond community event just yet,
I
or
haven't, I keep having babies. So every time I want to come, we have another baby. I'm on my fourth one right now. I've got 14, 4, 2, and an 8-month old.
oh,
And by the way, that's another driving factor for me. I want my sons to look at me and just be like, man, my dad, he puts in the work. He
oh
works
yeah,
hard. He takes care of his
beautiful.
body, and it's always something different. Every milestone in fitness.
Hmm.
When I was younger, it's just I want to be the biggest and shredded guy in the
Yeah.
gym. Now it's like, okay, well, I'm in my almost late 30s now, and I want to be, in the top 1% for
Mhm.
late 30s and 40s, 50s. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you invest into it now, it's going to pay off later.
Exactly. The more you take care of your body now, the more you'll
hmm
be able to enjoy your latter part of life.
Correct.
So, no, yeah, I love that. And it's an inspiration, not just for, community members that follow you, but for your family and for your sons to look up. And that's awesome. And I think a lot of people need that more than ever in this crazy world, is some positive inspiration.
Yes. hmm
So again, hats off to you. And again, doing it in this community, it's the best type because you have all these people from different walks of life. And let me tell you, the first time you get to an event, which I highly, highly recommend,
I plan on
um,
it. That's on my list.
it's it's like you're meeting family. Let me tell you, I can't explain enough how awesome it is to be supported, and, and to be uplifted with this community. And I'm excited to have met a new friend in yourself and to continue to follow your content
Same.
creation journey. So
Same.
yeah, and speaking of, it's kind of cool because I do have a little bit of background in the fitness slash content bond plethora of things.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, is a kind of a cool story. David Zaritsky was hosting a virtual, it was during COVID, so it was like a virtual James
Hmm.
Bond gathering. And he actually reached out to me to ask to be a moderator for the fitness panel because there's different panels. There's a style panel, a watch panel,
Right.
panel, and I got to be, the one who asked the questions from the viewers to the fitness gurus. And in doing so, it was so cool because I got to meet Giacomo Fargi, who is Mark Strong's personal trainer, Kingsley Ben-Adir, all these renowned actors that are in England, and he still is a PT there doing films for other actors as well. And then also Sean Lurwill, who spent some time in the military, and both of these guys also kind of helped me along my way of asking questions, and they taught me one important lesson. It's like always ask questions, especially when it comes to fitness,
Hmm.
because there's so many
Yeah.
different avenues, so many different
Nobody knows
techniques.
everything.
Right. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And as soon as I got onto found out about your Instagram and what you do, it kind of took me back to that, and it got me excited because I love that. It's fitness. A lot of people don't really think about James Bond and fitness, other than the fact that, Bond, especially Daniel Craig, always looks shredded. But it's much more than that. To be a double O agent, you got to be sharp. You got to be ready. You got to be agile. So, a lot
You got
of
to be
that.
ambulatory.
Exactly. And so a lot of people don't really
Hmm.
think about that until you really get to peel back the layers and see that. And which is, again, another aspect of Bond I absolutely love is the diversity in which the character is.
The books,
Mhm.
it's, he's actually very unhealthy in the books. He
Yeah.
smokes 20 cigarettes a day and
Right.
has bacon and coffee for breakfast. Like there's,
Hmm.
it's funny, but yeah, it doesn't, like when Craig, when he's like, like, oh, do you work out a lot? And he's like, when I have to,
I have to. Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just funny, but yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. And it's interesting too because it's have you've heard of like the Bond 25 fitness challenge, right? That hashtag
Yep.
that
Hmm.
became such a huge thing before No Time to Die came out. Like there were multiple Instagram accounts where
Dude,
people started from zero experience to by the time, well, we all know how long that movie took to come out. By the time it came out, we're living and feeling the best that they have ever had.
I would like to do like and I've been flirting with the idea of kind of like
Mhm.
a Bond 26 fitness
Yeah.
challenge or what it might be. But that when I got involved, I really wanted to try and give back to the Bond community. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So it's whatever I can do to help anybody. Like, feel free to reach out. I'll help you out with macros, workouts, whatever. It
That's
doesn't matter.
awesome. I love
I
that.
enjoy it.
I know I've come to David to ask some questions about things, and I still have tons of questions to ask you. So if you don't mind, because I have all these things that I want to get prepared
Keep
for,
it going.
especially
Keep,
coming up
keep
to this
going.
summer. So I love it. And
Hmm.
this is what I love too about finding unique perspectives of like not only fans of Bond, but unique different expertise in different topics. So very excited to have the fitness part on lock. And again, anybody can reach out to David, in which I will leave all of your Instagram. You just have Instagram as of right now, correct?
Yes, sir. No,
Oh,
no
okay.
YouTube yet. I'm working on that.
Oh,
We're
okay.
in the
That will be
works. I
exciting to
know.
see.
Yeah, yep.
007 fitness regiment videos. That would be kind of sick.
I've got to figure out a little bit more equipment for the home gym, but yeah, I've kind of strayed away from actually going to the gym. I enjoy working out outside.
Nice.
I like getting the vitamin D. For a while, I lived in Florida, and I would work out in the driveway, and it's like 120 degrees, and it was the best workouts I've ever had,
Nice.
just being outside. So
It's like
yes, if anybody's listening,
the
go outside.
simplicity of that, you don't have to do that's another
It
great piece of
is.
advice too. You don't have to go and spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on like some of the best equipment.
Mm-mm.
If you do something simple, whether it's going for a
Hmm.
jog around the neighborhood or,
Exactly.
calisthenics at home, it'll work as long
Movement
as you're
period.
moving.
That's
Exactly.
it. Just get the movement in. That's all.
Wonderful. Yeah. Hey, well, I just gotta say, David, it's been an honor talking to you finally face to face.
I
And
know. It's been great.
I hope people have gleaned some really good insight when it comes to fitness and how it relates to Bond. I think this is amazing. And I hope everybody, if you guys continue to have questions or whatever, reach out to David. Like I said, I'll have all of his information listed in the description below. But David, I just wish you nothing but greatness as you continue your content
Appreciate it. You
creation
too.
journey.
Yeah,
I look
I
forward to seeing
appreciate
everything
that.
that comes up. So,
Get ready. It's coming. It's getting warm outside.
uh-oh,
So
here we
it's
go. You
time to
heard
get
it here.
after it. Yep.
You heard it here first, folks. So, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the very first inaugural episode of bringing a guest on and talking about a topic within the Bond world. And I look forward to doing more of these. So stay tuned for more episodes like these. And until next time, everybody, again, David, thank you so much for joining.
Well, thanks for having me.
Christopher Morales, That One Bond Guy, host of That One Bondcast. See you on the next one.